We will today see the study of speed control characteristics of single phase fully converter fed separately excited motor. Separately excited motor means the motor in which field winding is excited by separate supply. It may be separate supply or some permanent magnet may be utilized, and the field is different and armature is different. So armature will be connected to single phase fully controlled converter. So in our traditional methods, we can control the speed of motor by connecting one resistance in series with the armature, and controlling that resistance we can control the armature voltage. As well, we can connect one series resistor in field, and we can control the field current. So by these two ways we can we can control the speed of DC motor. So the same methods are applied here. Here, instead of connecting resistance, we have connected this fully controlled converter. So this fully controlled converter acts as a voltage divider, or it will give the reduced voltage to armature so that the speed of the motor can be controlled by controlling the voltage across armature. You can connect this single phase fully controlled converter across field also. At that time you have to connect armature directly to the supply, not through the single phase fully controlled converter. So either using field control or using armature control, out of that one we can use. So here we have preferred armature control. Now in armature control we have connected this single phase fully controlled converter. In this single phase fully controlled converter, it is called as fully controlled because it controls full wave. And here all the devices connected are controllable devices. If it is hub control, that means two devices will be controllable and another two devices will be uncontrollable. That means if you connect here SCR and here diodes, then it will be hub control converter. Okay, so now when we apply single phase AC supply to this converter, what will happen when the positive half cycle is across these terminals? Then T1 and T2 will be forward bias. T1 and T2 forward bias, that means the current will flow, or it will conduct like this from supply to this SCR T1, T1 to like this through this motor, and this armature through this like this, and back to supply. In this way the current will circulate. So this positive half cycle will be transferred to armature when this starts conducting. When it will start conducting? When we fire it. So if suppose we have the firing angle of alpha, at alpha degree we will fire this SCR1 and 2 simultaneously. It is at an instant, not there should not be any difference between firing of T1 and T2. It will be fired at an instant. So T1 and T2. So you will get this type of output. That means from this the positive will flow, positive terminal will be here and negative will be here. So in this way it will flow. Now when the positive half cycle reaches to 0 or it crosses x-axis, at that time this SCR T1 and T2 will be in reverse bias, and T3 and T4 will be forward bias, because here now the negative half cycle will appear across this supply. So this negative half cycle, that means here the negative terminal will be there. So this T4 will be forward bias, and here positive terminal, so this T3 will be forward bias. So within this period, between this period and from crossing the x-axis to firing of T3 and T4. Within this period, what will happen? There will be no conduction. T1, T2 will not conduct because they are now in reverse bias. T3, T4 are forward bias but not fired. Hence it will not conduct. Now, in that period, whatever the energy stored in the armature or the armature winding, that energy will be flowing in this direction through freewheeling diode like this. So this negative will appear here. So this is the energy stored in the armature that will circulate through the freewheeling diode, that is mode 2. And after that we will fire T3 and T4, and in that case this positive half cycle, now if you see here, it will conduct like this. This is a positive terminal when the negative half cycle is appeared. So this will flow like this in this direction. In this direction it will flow. So here again, once again the positive terminal is appeared. That's why we will have a DC. And after that, the energy stored in the inductor will be circulate through freewheeling diode in mode 4 as it is in 2. So in this way we can control by changing the firing angle. You can change the average value of voltage. So that average voltage can be calculated. V0 is equal to this 1 upon 2 pi. 1 upon 2 pi means it is the total time period, that is 0 to 2 pi. So this is 1 upon 2 pi from 0 to 2 pi, integral 0 to 2 pi, area under the curve, that is Vm sin omega t, and it will be integrated with respect to omega t. So this will give you Vm by 2 pi into 1 plus cos alpha. So this much voltage will be produced by this controlled converter, and that will be applied to. So here it is clear that when we change this angle alpha, your V0 will change. And by controlling the firing angle, average output voltage will be changed, and hence the average speed of the motor will be changed. So now we will take the observations like this serial number V0, then speed in RPM, this is in volts, and we can plot the graph also between that. Okay. As I explained, you can see here the 4 SCRs forming the fully controlled converter. This is the full freewheeling diode, and here the output is taken. From this output we have connected this motor. This is the permanent magnet motor, which is treated as a separately excited motor. Now here, to control the speed, we have to change the firing angle, and for changing firing angle we will change this firing angle circuit resistance, that RC firing, or it may be RC firing, R firing, or UJT firing circuit will be there, and according to that circuit we will vary the resistance so that the firing will change. So by changing this, you can see the control of that speed with your traditional method and with this power electronic based method. There is a lot of control you can observe. Let me pause. By changing this, by changing the firing angle, we can change the speed. Now here, suppose we have provided the output voltage. See, this much voltage is provided, and we will measure the speed. You can see this is the 1524 is the speed. Similarly, if I change the speed voltage by changing this firing angle, with this voltage, for the applied voltage of this much, you can see the speed. (846 RPM). So in this way we can increase the voltage by increasing the firing angle for this particular voltage. So these are the ranges. We can change the voltage from 0 to maximum voltage, and we can have speed from lower to maximum speed.